Meet the monsters, the crane lineups. The real stars of the show are the cranes. If the port is a body, the cranes are the arms. There isn't just one of cranes, there's a whole family working together. Here's a breakdown on the heavy hitters that you'll see in any major port. Shipped to shore, STS. Cranes, the mega giants. When you see a port crane, you're thinking of these. They stand hundreds of feet tall, right? At the water's edge. What do they do? First, what they do, yeah. They reach over the massive ships, drop a metal frame called the spender onto a container, lock onto it, and lift it hundreds of feet into the air and swing it onto land. The scale modern STS cranes can lift 2 to 4 categories at the same time. They are so big that the operating sitting in the cab at the top has to look down through a glass floor between their feet just to see what they're doing. Rubber tire grantee RTG cranes. Once the STS crane drops a container onto the dock, it gets moved into the yard, the giant parking lot for boxes. That's where the RTGs come in. What they do? They are huge blocky cranes and massive rubber tires. They stutter rows of containers, stacking them high and neat like Lego blocks. Why do they matter? They organize the chaos if a truck comes to pick up a specific container. The RTG crane shifts the box around to grab it. Rail Mountain Grantee RMG cranes. These are like RTG cranes, but instead of rubber tires, they use fixed steel tracks. They're usually fully automated robot cranes. They're used to stack containers even higher and tighter, or to load them directly onto freight trains. How a container moves step by step. To see how this all fits, let's track single container off a ship. Mega ship arrives. Ship to shore. Crane lifts the box. Then it's placed into a terminal truck or robot crane, robot cart. Driven to the container yard. RTG RMG cranes stack it neatly. Load onto a overload semi-truck or train. Then arrives at your local store. The mind-blowing tech inside modern parts. Ports used run by tough guys yelling the raw engines today. It looks like a sci-fi movie. Automat Automation. Many of the newest ports are completely ghost towns. The trucks driving containers around the yard don't have drivers. They are AGVs, automatic guided vehicles, directed by central supercomputer remote control operators. Remember those STS cranes we were talking about? Looking through a glass floor? Yeah. In modern ports, they don't even sit in the crane anymore. They sit office building miles away holding a joystick, watching 4K monitors. It's usually an ultimate video game, except the stakes are multi-million dollar shipping containers. Anti-sway tech. Imagine lifting a 30-ton box on a cable in the middle of a windy storm. It's gonna swing like a pendulum. Modern cranes use insane software and laser guided systems to contract the wind and keeping the box perfectly still. Why does any of this matter to you? It's easy to look at a port just to see a bunch of gray metal. But without this x axis, the modern life would be literally stopped. About 90% of the world's trade is carried by shipment and ships. Ships. If a storm hits and the crane at a major port stopped for a few days, it triggers a butterfly effect. Stores run out of stock, price of electronics skyrockets, and factories assemble lines halfway across the world. The world turns into a halt, and a gambit. Automat. Okay, ready? Automatic of modern mega port 3 to 8. The more than a dock. Explain that a modern port isn't just a place where boats can park. It's a highly automatic, hyper complex city that never stops, operates 24/7 under building floodlights. The layout breaks down the category of the port. An approaching canal, deep water highways dragged out so massive ships don't scrape the bottom. The monsters of the water for cranes. Ship to shore STS grantees. These are iconic giants shipping the harbor skyline. They can weigh over 2,000 tons and stand over 30-story buildings. Yeah, it's very tall, guys. The engineering marvel details how STS cranes work. The operators sit in a glass cabin suspended over 150 feet. Yes, we're talking about the STS's back that I just said, but we're giving a little more complex version. And yeah, it's the stands over 150 feet, looking straight down at the feet. They control the spreader, a massive frame that drops onto the container, twists and locks into corners, and second lifts up to 65 to 100 tons at a time. The yard claw, the transition to what once a container hits the ground. RTG, rubber tired Granty canes. The RMGs, rail mounted Granties that manage the stacks, straddle carries, and IAGVs, automatic guided vehicles. Drive robotic platforms that zip across the asphalt, transferring cargo without human intervention. Yes, automatic stuff here. We are robots now. That is against size. That a ship can only that only makes money when it's moving every hour. A ship sits at berth costs tens of thousands of dollars. Cranes are judged by moves per hour, a high stakes game of speed and millimeter precision. And a magic humble shipping container. The Interdol revolution tells the story of Malcolm McLean, the truck driver who invented the standard shipping container in the 1950s. Before him, cargo breakbulk lowered a piece box barrels and stacked by armies of longshoremen. It took days or weeks unloading a single ship. Sunrise, because every single container is exactly 20 to 40 feet long. The same box can perfectly fit in a Shanghai ship in a Shanghai lifted a train in Rotterdam, dropped in onto a truck, onto a flatbed train, and hooked onto a semi truck without ever being opened. Is the ultimate plug and play system of the world. Supply chain chaos and checkpoint. The fragile of the system. What happens when it goes wrong? Yes, if something mess up. Bring up real world checkpoints. A single ship gets stuck, like a canal, can stall billions of dollars in trades per hour. and causes a ripple effect across every ocean. Yes, billions of dollars if one little mistake happens. So when a mistake does happen, it is a really really big deal, and it's not something that we can just toss away like that. But yeah, the invisible heroes pay tribute to marine pilots who board these massive ships in rough sea to steer them safely on into tight ports, and crane operators working in high winds. That's my dad. He's a DP. He works in DP World. In high winds to keep the supply chain moving. The features of logistics, tech, and AI. Automatic automation. The shift towards fully automatic ports where cranes run on AI algorithms, maximizing efficiency and minimizing human error. Green ports, the push to electrify these massive cranes onto the ship to reduce the carbon footprint of the global shipping. Conclusion: the pulse of humanity. Summarizing summarizing. The next time you see a distant container ship over the horizon, or a passport lined with touring metal cranes that just don't seem machine. See the physical internet. Final thought. See the mountains to humans cooperation that allows someone on one side of the planet to desire something. Someone on the other side of build it. A massive network of steel uh, and ingenuity to bring up right to your doorstep. That is it. And yeah, and I swear on everything. Next one is gonna be the Radium Girls, guys. I really want it. And my last one, the football. Yeah, that was pretty nice. I hope you guys enjoyed that one because that one took a bit of time because I kind of messed up the first few. But yeah, yeah, that is it, guys, for today. But I really wanna I also wanna know what you guys want me to say next. So I want you guys to put in the comment section what you guys want me to talk about next. Anything you guys like, any like features. And of course I didn't go into detail